Imagine a city so overwhelmed by its own filth that its primary river became a festering cesspool. This was Victorian London, a powerhouse of empire brought to its knees by an unseen enemy, its own waste. Conventional history often focuses on the grand achievements of the Victorian era, the Industrial Revolution, the vast empire, but beneath this veneer of progress lay a literal stink bomb, a crisis of epic proportions. The thesis of this story isn't just about a smelly city. It's about how that unbearable stench, the Great Stink of 1858, became the unlikely catalyst for the birth of modern public health infrastructure. For centuries, Londoners had simply dumped their waste into the Thames, the city's lifeblood. What went in, they assumed, would somehow just go away. An understandable, if ultimately disastrous, assumption. But as the city exploded in population during the 19th century, the sheer volume of sewage became overwhelming. The Thames, once a source of life, began to give off a putrid odor that permeated every corner. The summer of 1858 was particularly brutal. Temperatures soared, and the stench from the Thames intensified to an almost unbearable degree, forcing Parliament itself to consider drastic measures. Whispers turned to cries of alarm. The smell was so potent that curtains soaked in chloride of lime were hung over windows, a desperate attempt to ward off the foul air that was literally suffocating the city. The situation was dire. Disease, particularly cholera, thrived in the unsanitary conditions, claiming thousands of lives and exacerbating the public's fear and disgust. It was a health crisis of the first order. Scientists and engineers had been warning about the dangers of open sewers for years, but it took the sheer visceral horror of the Great Stink to galvanize political will and compel action. Enter Joseph Bazalgette, a visionary civil engineer. He wasn't just proposing a patch. He was envisioning a network, a subterranean marvel that would revolutionize how London dealt with its waste. Bazalgette's plan was audacious, a colossal system of intercepting sewers, stretching miles beneath the city, designed to capture all waste before it could reach the Thames. The project was an engineering feat of unprecedented scale. Millions of bricks, miles of tunnels, all built under immense pressure and with the constant threat of collapse and flooding. Construction itself was a testament to Victorian ingenuity and perseverance. It required innovative techniques to build these massive structures while the city above continued its daily life. Bazalgette's genius wasn't just in the engineering. It was in his foresight. He designed the system with capacity for future growth, ensuring it would serve London for generations to come. The sewers were completed section by section. The impact was palpable. The foul smell began to recede, and a cleaner, healthier London started to emerge from the miasma. But the true victory wasn't just in cleaning the river, it was in the revolution of public health thinking. The crisis proved that centralized, scientific approaches to sanitation were not just desirable, but essential. Cholera outbreaks, once a recurring terror, became far less frequent and devastating. The connection between clean water, effective sewage disposal, and public well-being was finally undeniable. The principles pioneered in London, centralized sewage systems, scientific public health policies, and government intervention, were exported around the globe. From Paris to New York to cities in developing nations, the legacy of Bazalgette's tunnels and the Great Stink can be seen in the pipes beneath our feet, quietly protecting us. This wasn't just about plumbing. It was about a fundamental shift in how society viewed its responsibility to its citizens' health and the environment. The Great Stink was a moment of extreme crisis, but it forced a confrontation with uncomfortable truths about progress, population, and pollution. It taught us that ignoring fundamental needs, however unpleasant, eventually leads to catastrophe, and that bold, collective action is often the only way forward. The next time you flush, remember the unbearable stench that once plagued London and the incredible transformation it sparked. This monumental, often overlooked, feat of engineering didn't just clean a river, it built the invisible infrastructure of modern public health, a testament to human resilience in the face of overwhelming challenges. Ultimately, the story of the Great Stink is a powerful reminder that even the most pungent problems can be overcome with vision, engineering, and a collective will to create a healthier future.
Text. Petra's story is one of adaptation, wealth, artistry, and eventual decline, a cyclical narrative echoed throughout human history. Yet, its enduring beauty ensures its legend will never truly fade. Text. The Maya civilization, with its peaks of brilliance and its enigmatic decline, invites us to ponder the cyclical nature of history and the enduring power of human adaptation. Text. Their legacy is not just in the stones they left behind, but in the living cultures that continue their traditions, carrying forward a story that has spanned millennia.